In the mountains of Virginia, years ago, you're going to know many, many years ago when you hear the end of the story, there was a class of schoolboys which no teacher could handle. The boys were so rough that teachers were resigning left and right. They couldn't get anybody to stay in this class. A young teacher finally applied for the job. The old school director scanned him up and down when he saw him, and he said, "Young fellow, do you know what you're asking for? An awful beating, that's what." The young teacher replied, "I'll risk it." On the first day of class with the new teacher, he turned to his class and he said, "Good morning." The boys gave a sarcastic good morning back at the top of their lungs. The teacher said there were going to be some rules in the class, and he wrote them on the blackboard. After he had listed the 10 rules the class was going to operate under, several taken from the 10 Commandments, he listed the punishment for breaking the rules. If any of the boys broke any of the rules, he would have to remove his shirt and receive 10 lashes with a wooden rod. That's why you know this is a long time ago. A few days later, Tom, the largest boy in the class, reported that his lunch had been stolen. Stealing was against one of the rules. The culprit, it turned out, was a small boy named Jim. The teacher called Jim to the front of the class. The trembling little fellow came up slowly with a big coat buttoned up around his neck. He pleaded, "Teacher, you can lick me as hard as you like, but please don't make me take off my coat." However, the teacher said the rules required to be beaten on a bare back, and the rules would be followed. When Jim took off his coat, he had on no shirt, only strings for suspenders over his bony little body. The teacher asked Jim, Where's your shirt?" "My father died and we ain't got much, and I only have one shirt, and Mother's washing it today, so I wore my brother's coat to keep warm." At this point, the teacher sighed internally. He did not really want to beat this poor little fellow, but there were rules, and he had to keep the class in line. So he grasped the rod in his hand and lifted it. Just then, Tom, the boy who had his lunch stolen, jumped to his feet, and he said, "Teacher, I'll take Jim's licking for him." "Very well," said the teacher. "Remove your shirt." After 5 strokes, the rod broke. In the moment of silence that followed the breaking of the rod, little Jim jumped from his chair. He ran over to Tom and grabbed him around the neck. "Tom, I'm awful sorry, Tom. I was just so hungry. I'll love you till I die for taking my licking for me. I'll love you forever." "Tom, I'm awful sorry. I'll love you till I die for taking my licking for me. I'll love you forever." When Jesus sees that kind of reaction to his suffering, he's satisfied. May I ask this question this morning? When's the last time we came to the communion table and we said to the Lord, "I'm awful sorry, Jesus. I'm awful sorry. I'll love you till I die for taking my licking for me. I'll love you forever."